back on my gob, everybody. Piss Wednesday? Well, maybe to some of you it'll be Piss Wednesday. And some of you probably like these two albums. Me? I like a couple things off both, and then there's stuff I hate off both. So this is an interesting track by track brought to you by Bjørn-Rune Nilsen, and he asked me to add bonus tracks, and the bonus tracks I'm going to add to make it even. I got to add some Circus bonus tracks, which the only one is In Your Face, but he also asked me to add Nothing Can Keep Me From You. You know that Aerosmith ripoff song from the Detroit Rock City soundtrack? Is it on the soundtrack? I have that CD. It's probably on there. Terrible song. But it's going against a terrible song in my opinion. I Walk Alone. I think that song blows. But I'm not going to tell you which one wins till we get to it. Anticipation. I'm making you wait. All right. We start with Hate versus Circus. You know, I dig them both. They're both good, strong songs. Hate is kind of like Unholy Part 2. Not as good as Unholy, but still a cool song, in my opinion. Circus is better. That's a classic, man. That's Paul Stanley showing you, look, man, I can still write a good song. Well, he wrote a couple good songs on that. You know, I'll tell you this right now. I think Paul Stanley, who hates this album, is better than Gene on this album. I like his songs more than Gene on this album. But going back to the 80s with Asylum and Animalize when Gene was trying to be Hollywood, and even Crazy Nights, I like Gene's songs better than Paul's. Well, Animalize did have Into the Fire. I'll give Paul that one. That's the best song on that album. But While the City Sleeps better than Heaven's on Fire and Under the Gun. Those are the only other two songs I like off it. Right on, Kiss Talk. But actually, like I said, I like Into the Fire. I like Heaven's on Fire. I liked Under the Gun. And I liked While the City Sleeps. The rest of the album, piss. Alright. Okay, let's keep going. I'm giving that a Circus. Next, Rain versus Within. And it's funny because Within is kind of like a leftover from Carnival of Souls. And as I was just saying, man, Paul wrote the better song. And I think Rain is a better song Within. I dig that song. I know Paul hates it. I know a lot of you hate it because you want to hear Paul sing about going to titty bars and stuff. And that's cool. That's your thing. I like the little nuances Eric Singer does on the drums. He was really good without that cat makeup, I got to tell you. And he, just those little ding, 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 you know, make it sound like a little rain. It's awesome. Heavy riff, grungy, but I dug heavy grunge. Rain wins. All right, next. Master and Slave versus I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll. Master and Slave wins. That is my favorite song off Carnival of Souls. And by the way, the people at AI, they refused to put the version that I put on the thumbnail. They said, no, screw you. So they put that version, and I'm tired. I don't feel like fighting. You know what I mean? Especially with crackheads. Ooh. That's no picnic, let me tell you. So, yeah, anyway, I'm giving that another one to Masters and Slaves. All right, next. Childhood Ends versus Into the Void. Into the Void, the only song with the original Kiss. Sounds fine to me. I don't think the song is that good, to tell you the truth. It's all right, but it could have been better, you know, because it is the reunion Kiss song, the new one, you know. Could have been better if you ask me. But hey, it is better than Childhood End because that is the worst song. I'm telling you, I put that in the top 5 worst Kiss songs ever. It'd be there with Read My Body, My Way, Love Theme from Kiss, Hooligan, and oh boy, bunch of other ones after that. Read My Body, whatever. Yeah, I'm giving that one to Into the Void. At least, you know, it's got a cool solo, and Peter Criss is there. The way it was meant to be. That album was supposed to be the original 4. Not Piss. All right. Let's go. Let's keep going. Now it's I Will Be There. You know, it's not bad. I'm not going to bash on that one. And again, it's a Paul song. It's a little ballady, but you know, he's singing about his kid. You know, it's not something I think is great, but it's passable. Very passable. What's that going against again? We Are One. My favorite song off the album. That one, when I did on my podcast the worst Kiss songs, my co-host said We Are One is one of them. And a lot of people were saying that too. I was like, I love it. And people were like, man, you like that crap? I love We Are One. It's like my favorite song off the album. It used to be Circus. Now it's We Are One. I love that. Oh my God, I love that song. Nothing wrong with you people. I'm the insane one, okay? And those that do like We Are One, just to let you know, you're fucking crazy. What the hell's wrong with you? What the hell's wrong with me? Let's go to a group and find out. I'm giving that to We Are One. Next, Jungle versus You Wanted the Best. You know, all right. You know, I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. On every time I've talked about this album, I think every time that I've reviewed this record, which I think the first time I reviewed it, it's been out for a few years. So by the time I reviewed it, I looked at You Wanted the Best as what it is. A stupid ass song. But you know what? When it was brand new, it was kind of like, well, it's got Ace, Peter, Gene, and Paul singing in it. And it's got an Ace solo. And I was like, shit, with the other crap on here, this is a good tune. I changed my tune on that one. That song sucks. What's it going against again? Jungle, great tune. Another Paul song too. That's a heavy killer tune. Love Jungle, easy win. All right, let's pick. You know, I'm thinking, you know what? Why don't I do something different for this Kiss episode? Let's pick a random Kiss album. All right, where's my Kiss section again? It's right here. All right. If I go over here, it's after Love Gun. If I go here, it's Love Gun Down. And I'm going Love Gun Down because that's my favorite Kiss. So here we go. All right. Let's see. All right, hey, the Resurrection version, which I did play not too long ago. I like this version more. I like Ace's solo on Sweet Pain more. This is great. I loved it. I loved how they raised the acoustic on Beth. I prefer it over the original, though there is one song. God damn it, which was it? There was a song that I preferred on here over the Resurrection, but now I can't remember which one it was. Let me see. Was it? I think it was. No, maybe King of the Nighttime World. I'm not sure. I don't remember. That means I should play it again. All right. Here we go. Side 2. In My Head versus Raise Your Glasses. You know, believe it or not, you know, I know I'm the Kiss guy on YouTube, but I don't listen to Kiss much, honestly. I really don't. Unless it comes up on my iPod Shuffle. And yeah, if there's a Kiss song on my iPod Shuffle, I usually keep it on because it's a badass song. Raise Your Glasses came on my iPod Shuffle. And I was like, whoa, I don't really like this song. But then I realized, oh, this is a version, I should have pulled it out. I have it on CD. There's a remix version that I do like and I forgot about. But I listen to this version, I'm like, you know, the remix version's better, but I do like this version, and yeah, I'll take it over in my head. Next, It Never Goes Away against I Finally Found My Way. Who was it? There was some, I won't say it was an argument, it was a cool dude, but he was going off on, I forgot what album it was. And he said Circus is so much better, and he named a few songs, and then one of the songs he named was I Finally Found My Way. I was like, so I had a laugh. It was like, damn, dude, really? Whatever. I mean, geez, I never knew there was somebody out there that liked it. I got a funny story about that. You all like when I tell you something. This has a connection to that song. The great Eric Camaro. He's part of really my favorite podcast other than my own is the Decibel Geek podcast with Chris Sinzak, Sizzler, and Eric Camaro. And Eric Camaro told a story that he was hired to be a DJ at a wedding, right? So he's DJing, right? And part where the husband and bride were dancing, he played I Finally Found My Way. And I don't remember the exact specifics, but I do remember he said people at the wedding hated him for playing that. They were like, what is this garbage? You know, even people that aren't wearing a Kiss, you know, and are at a wedding of all places. Of course, this shit would work in a wedding. It should, but it's so bad. It's total piss. But hey, that dude liked it. So too bad you weren't at the wedding. You could have yelled at all those people. You know, what the hell are you talking about? This Peter Criss song rules. It loses on this end, man. Yeah, I'm giving that one to It Never. It Never Goes Away is awesome. And it's the most grungiest song I heard. You know, Paul says he hates this album. He must hate that song the most because it's so grungy. But I love it. It's doomy. And Paul's voice, I mean, honestly, 1,000,000 off Lick It Up and this song are my favorite Paul Stanley vocal performances. Technical vocal performances. Never Goes Away, easy win. One of my favorites on this album. Probably my second favorite after Masters and Slaves. All right, next. Seduction of the Innocent versus Dreamin'. Both are whatever. To be honest with you, both are whatever. But I guess I'll go with Dreaming. You know, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking with Seduction of the Innocent. I'm telling you, the Gene songs on here, to me, are weak. Except for Hate. You know, all the other ones, they're weak. And yeah, Seduction of the Innocent, trying to reinvent himself with a little Egyptian flair. I'm expecting to see the Bangles come out of that song, you know? Fuck that song. Seduction of These Nuts. That's right. Suck These Nuts. Duction. All right. Yeah, Dreamin' wins, and that ain't no picking. All right, next. I Confess versus Journey of 1,000 Years. I dig Journey of 1,000 Years. I love that song. That's why I told you, man. There's a lot of piss on both these albums, but then there's a lot of killer. And yeah, all right, Journey of 1,000 Years doesn't sound like a Kiss song, but it sounds like it could have fit on Elder, so it sounds like that type of Kiss song. I love that song. It wins. I like how it brings Psycho Circus back at the end, instrumental. Badass shit. Wins totally over I Confess. All right, now the bonus tracks, which is in the Mirror versus In Your Face. In Your Face is oh man, I don't have it handy. I wish I did. I wish I could grab it to show you this rip-off thing Kiss did back in the day that I didn't fall for it. But Kiss released, and I know some of you Kiss nerds like me bought it, but I didn't buy all four because it'd be impossible to buy all four. But let me explain. They were selling a videotape of the song Psycho Circus, and it brought a CD with the song Psycho Circus and this bonus track, In Your Face, which I believe Yeah, I have the Japanese version. It's the bonus on Japanese. But when you bought the video, on the back, the CD it didn't show the CD. It showed the back of the CD. Now each CD had different band members, but how would you know? You'd probably buy 2 or 3, and they're all Gene, and they're like, what the fuck? Where's the Paul in it? You know what I mean? You gotta buy many to get all 4. And I wasn't about to do that. And the one I got had Gene. And I was like, I wouldn't even have bought it if it was on the other side. But you know people did. Crazy, right? In Your Face, a cool tune. I dig it. I know Gene wrote it. I like it more than Into the Void. I do. I like it more than that song. So yeah, that wins. All right, next. All right, yeah, the last one. I Walk Alone, the song by Bruce Kulick, singing against Nothing Can Keep Me From You, the blatant trying to cash in on the Aerosmith song that they did for a soundtrack. It's the same song. It's just as shitty. And man, I'm telling you, the Bruce Kulick, it sounds like Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters was a new band then. And I really do think this was inspired by the Foo Fighters. Because I remember thinking that when it was new. I was like, this sounds like the Foo Fighters. I think for the Foo Fighters at the time only had one album out. And it sounded like shit off that album. I don't like it. I don't like the little middle section with the background drums and so. It's just, I don't dig it at all. But I like it more than Nothing Can Keep Me From You. That right there, I would even say that's worse than Childhood's End. No, I take that back. Childhood End's worse. But that's what I think. What do you all think? Leave it in the comments below. And thank you, Bjorn, for this exciting, some would say suck versus suck, piss versus piss. And some would say, I like a little off both. That's me. And then some would say, oh my God, Kiss! Thank you, Bjorn. You rock. And everybody out there, you rock as well. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Kiss, Destroyer, Resurrection, and Schmack 'em a Gob.